So as a scientist, let me answer the question of why do I want to go to quantum industry? Well, it's very exciting. They have money on the table. They're trying to build a useful technology. And as a scientist, that's very, very exciting to be able to be part of this path in order to really see something has happened. But at the same time, why do I not want to go to the quantum industry? Because they are committed to a specific platform, and they are committed to a specific application. So it is exciting, but at the same time, as a scientist, I want to have access today, right now, to exploring all the platform, to trying to look at all the possible applications, because we don't know what are we betting on. So we don't want to, miss the opportunity to really verifying the true quantum computing, quantum advantage. Well, why do I not want to stay in the academia? Well, we also know it, that they are lagging behind in the resources, individual competition versus collective thought, going through admin nightmare, irrelevant training. So there is all of this dilemma of the whether go or not. So let me really answer the question, why do I want to be both in academia and in industry? And I give it to you in a bit of a personal story of why this double position is very, very important. So almost 10 years ago, we started with this idea of blind computing that some of you already heard earlier. And the quantum computer didn't exist. The hype was not there. The cloud was not there. But we already start in academia coming with the idea of how to do secure quantum cloud computing. And in academia, student after student, grant after grant, paper after paper, idea to paper is fast, much faster than industry, because you are able to go without any limitation and try to discover. And it's keep coming, using hardware secure module, do authentication, everything that you can imagine. But then you get excited, you want to take your paper to the lab and you're trying to start validating it. It's become a little bit cloggy because we did it 10 years later and almost a few weeks ago. Finally, with Ion Trap, with Photonic, we demonstrate this thing is possible. But every time you want to pitch it to an experimentalist in academia to implement it, well, they need to make sure this is their breakthrough so they can publish in the next Nature. So we get very cloggy when it's come to the validation. And that's why I needed to fund my own bloody computer, a quantum startup, to somebody really validated. So what I'm trying to say is something that everybody has been talking today. We know it takes a village to raise a happy child, and it takes really the entire ecosystem to come up with the useful quantum computation. So my message essentially is for this thing, we need it all, and we need to start thinking like that. And of course, because in UK we are always ahead of the time, we have designed that Quantum Ethiopia, and that's exactly National Quantum Computing Center, that is supposed to be in between place, being both industry and being both academia, in order to make sure that we can pass that message. So it is the place for catalyzing quantum readiness. If you magically have not heard about NQCC, you better go to our booths and talk with all of the colleagues in here. And it has money on the table to really push this idea forward, but it's going to do more. Look at the strategic intent that we have to provide access, provide assurance, being the trusted party, trying to validate, to making sure that this passage between idea and paper and lab and demonstration is much faster going forward. So within that context, within that wonderful Quantum Ethiopia, I want to tell you about Quantum Software Lab, which was few weeks ago launched as the place, as the dream place between academia and industry, and that's the NQCC Quantum Software Lab based in University of Edinburgh. So yes, indeed, is an academic institute, is where we get the best training. I'm going to pitch about our University of Edinburgh School of Informatics, which has been ranked over and over as the best place for computer science in all areas, taking it from AI all the way to HPC and etc. It gives the support, it gives you the vision, it gives you as well as the innovative team to trying to work, as well as, most importantly, this village has been building for the last 10 years. So we have experts, we have 30+ researchers who have been already working through all across the various topics, whether it's going to be engineering, physics, computer science, architecture. So you see that ecosystem that has been building. But it also is a larger ecosystem that we have been trying to do. We have all these various national labs that you're hearing about. We are also having all this industry partner that we heard Roger was talking about, Innovate UK project. We have all of these international collaborators we have. So we're going to be this glue in between place that everybody wants to do what we're trying to answer about this brain drain. So what we're trying to do, what we're trying to capture and create a space so that people can not be forced to choose, can be accelerate what we're trying to do. The magical formula is really being a startup culture, but inside an academia. So what do I mean? Means try to be like in a startup, trying to have a mission, trying to push forward, but it's okay, we don't have a VC on our back trying to push us to no negative results should not come here. We can really explore this user journey that everybody's talking about. Almost every talk is trying to talk to the same thing. We want to look at industry pain point. We want to take it, try to use case development, try to translate it to a mathematical problem, do the research on top of it, try to benchmark it on the various platforms. But this is the methodology that we want to do it more systematically. So what are we trying to do? Really quickly going through it to give you the pitch of the vision that we're trying to develop, or actually we have been doing it over the last decade, is when you look at the use case development, everybody talk about use case. Roger was telling us to take about customer. This is the toughest part. This is the part that you need to have engage industry experts, sitting down, trying to be in an environment, pitching to you what are their pain points, and trying to be able to do this reverse pitch, to trying to bring it exactly what they are after. And this is not the job of any individual part of the ecosystem to doing it. You need to create bringing people together. And that's why there's a magic of a Spark program that NQCC has been running successfully over the last year as launching it, because they have put these 4 pillars, again, all the masters are sitting in the room to reach out to them, to give, if you really want to bring those skeptical end user or customer to trying to work, instead of forcing every single industry to do it by themselves, you're getting a pool of the experts, trying to give them access to quantum computing resources, to trying to create the collaborate R&D application, workshop, hackathon, training, learning resources and skill. And you need to put all of these things together collectively. And then, of course, out of this thing, we will have the type of problem that you're all hearing it. Yes, it's quantum simulation. Yes, it's going to be optimization. Yes, it's going to be cryptography. But yes, we need to go through those details. We need to do the thorough details. And those will become the input for an R&D researcher in the university to trying to take the time to really address the question. So that's where we're moving from something that NQCC has been successfully on the Spark program has been leading it. And they are going to tell us, okay, here are the bottleneck that no industry on their own can address today. So we are able to trying to remove those bottlenecks for them. And what we're trying to do, trying to understand that which part of quantum can benefit from which part of the speed up and which part cannot. So exactly trying to, again, because we are academic, because we are this open source environment, we can share that knowledge. We're trying to share that knowledge in an open source environment, to trying to say that here's are the template of the type of solution that exists in quantum, and here is the way that we can bring those mathematical requirements, whether it's a speed, whether it's accuracy, whether it's price, whether it's costing, all of those elements, so we can do this matchmaking better. And of course, then it becomes the core of something that everybody's after, this magical quantum algorithm, this magical quantum protocol. Well, they are designed by students and postdoc and all those researchers that you need to put them together. You need to make sure that they have a space of creativity and they can create those things. It's not coming out of squeezing out of the code. It's really the space that they can try to in the partner, using all the industry sector that we have, but trying to formally prove mathematically that yes, there is an advantage can be achieved, or no, it cannot be achieved. So we go through our journey of template to property. Eventually, we're reaching to, yes, there is a bunch of new algorithm, and we can, pitch it to the world. We can bring it back, or we can cycle back and try to come back to the industry, to our hardware, saying that What are the bottlenecks that they need to remove? So this is a feed forward, or if you like, a complete cycle that is going to be costly. And as I want to mention it, you need to also do a complete independent feasibility study. And everybody talks about error mitigation. Somebody talks about verification. Somebody talks about error suppression. They have a lot of common knowledge. You don't need to do them in separate ad hoc case. We can do them all together collectively. And finally, our journey will be finished. The target of our lab, our feasibility study, our collective way of, if you like, our product is that yes, quantum advantage can be achieved, or no, it cannot be achieved. That's a good result for us. EPSRC is giving us money to be able to answer those questions. Or, more importantly, most relevantly, saying it, how, in what scenario, what sort of connectivity, what sort of advantage, what kind of other feedback do we need to give to our hardware partner to try to improve it? So what I'm trying to do with this sort of journey that taking, everybody told me put too many slides, is that I want you to really feel that commercializing of quantum is complex. It's not just about a wonderful event that economists is running it. It is very, very complex. And, scientific brain power has to be enhancing our amazing leading engineering that we have been leading, and also to influence, in fact, how the industry goes. So this is not either or. We need to recognize it. And I'm so excited to say that I think at NQCC, with the Spark and QSL, we create a framework. We create a framework to make sure that we are supporting industry in this drive and user adaptation, bringing them together, as well as having the top researcher at the university trying to assist us in developing those use cases, but the most importantly, to do independent benchmarking, to be not committed to a particular project, a particular platform. We need to put that one, because that's the only way we can really achieve the advantage and enhancement of the economy that we want to go. And I think I just finish it with, how do you want to get involved? We are open. We are very, very open to the entire ecosystem through a Spark program, through the QSL program. You can reach out to us, and we are very keen to hear the feedback that we can get from the community. And I'm 3 minutes ahead of time about that. Thank you.